This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. What a great little solo that was. Wish I could lay claim to it, but unfortunately I can't. That was just my rendition of a solo that was originally played by a chap called Frankie Sullivan. Who's he, you might ask? Well, he's the lead guitarist in a band that I pretty much just wrote off as a one-hit wonder. I'm talking about Survivor. I don't know how they did internationally, but certainly in the UK, Eye of the Tiger, that was their big hit, and then they were done, pretty much. I think, actually, no, I tell a lie, I think they did have another song from another Rocky movie a few years later, but it was by no means the massive hit that Eye of the Tiger was. So, as I say, I just thought they were a bit of a one-hit wonder, and that was until one of my students, a chap called Bob, asked if we could take a look at the solo from a song called Runway Lights, which is what you've just heard there. That song comes from the album before Eye of the Tiger, an album called Premonition. And as I say, the whole back catalogue of Survivor's music is has been hitherto unknown to me, but I'm really enjoying checking it out. So I thought that was a good excuse to give this solo a little bit of a run on YouTube. So tell you what, here's a little bit of an explanation about what's going on in the solo.
Solo explanation.
Okay, so beginning as always by looking at the chords we're playing over. We're in the key of C major here, apart from right at the end there's a key change into E flat. But we've basically got a C major chord via this little bass walk down into an A minor and then up to an F. Twice through that, and that's arranged like this. And that E flat chord is where the vocals come back in. Nice kind of use of modulation there, going from to basically taking up a minor third. Anyway, we can talk about the songwriting prowess later. But what's going on over the top of that chord sequence is basically C major scale, because we're in the key of C major. We're using a C major scale. There are parts of the solo that you can make the case and say, oh yeah, that's just a little bit more pentatonic, but I'm just going to call it in terms of it being C major scale. We start off up here like this. Like that. Oh, that's one of the bits that you can say is pentatonic, actually. But lots and lots of focusing on strong chord notes there. This D to E bend here is we're targeting the major third of the C major chord, and after all of that sort of stuff, basically kind of going around this bendy kind of D to E thing here. Got the G to A bend there. We then come into this little lick here, which goes. Significant note there is that B note. We'll talk about that in a moment, but let's just have a little bit of a look at that run. It's all in straight 16th notes, and we start on the C note here. You need to watch for that, actually, because we've just finished on that note, the previous lick. We've finished on that note with that finger, but you need to do a quick little hop to go back onto the same note with your third finger so we can get to this portion of the scale down here. So There it is. Just coming down that run like that. So let's put that together from the top. Something like that. Now this note here is a significant note. It's a B note, and we're landing on that over the F major chord. So if I just kind of play an F major chord and tap a B note, you'll hear that's a very dissonant interval. Hear that? Very, very dissonant sounding interval. So why does it work? Because he resolves it. He resolves this B note onto the A note here. That B note there resolves to this A here, which is one of the notes in the F major chord. So that A note that he lands on, the major third of the F chord, sounds all the sweeter because you've had this dissonant note, this B note, right kind of almost immediately before it. And he does it again later on in the solo. So we'll mention that when we come to it. Then after that we again just kind of coming through this pattern of the C major scale here. So then the tricky bit of the solo where we've got some 16th note triplets, but it's fairly easy once you know where you're going. We start on the C note here at the 8th fret on the first string, and we go. So it's just kind of hammering on and pulling off and sliding. There's your first 3 notes. There's your next 3. There's the next 3. Next 3. So that kind of thing. And then we start ascending back up again with these next couple of bits, which arguably are a little bit pentatonic rather than major scale, but all the notes are still there. So just coming out of that, like those two little pentatonic box shapes. And then we hit that B note again over the F chord. Again, there's the F chord. You hear how dissonant that note is, but because it's unsettling and tense, and then when he resolves it, it makes the resolution sound all the sweeter. Resolves it onto the same note as last time, an A note, an octave higher this time, but basically the same little move. And then we're coming into the kind of final chord of the solo, basically the E flat chord, where we play essentially a C minor scale. We're playing C, D, E flat, F, and then when we hit that G note there, that's where the E flat chord arrives, and that is a strong chord note for the E flat. It's the major third of that. But interesting that he preempts that key change. Basically the key of E flat is the same thing as the key of C minor, and when he plays this little C minor run, before we get to that note, those notes there, we're still in the key of C major. And again, it's about tension and release. You know, that sounds, you don't perceive it as being kind of, oh, that sounds a bit kind of off, but subconsciously you think, oh, and then when it lands, it tends to, on the E flat chord, it makes more sense sonically. So a clever little use of anticipation there, kind of, we're playing in the new key just momentarily, kind of one beat before we actually get there. A clever little trick. Brian May does a similar thing in the Bohemian Rhapsody solo towards the end of that. So, if you've got a key change coming up, don't necessarily wait until you're there, just kind of preempt it by a beat, and it will give you that sort of tension and release kind of thing. But that's what's going on in this rather fine solo from a song that I'd hitherto not really heard of. Like many people, I'd only really heard of Survivor from that Eye of the Tiger song. So I'm in the process of checking out more of their back catalogue now and having fun doing it. But I just thought I'd share that solo with you, and now you know what's going on. Go away and have some fun with it. And as always, you'll find a full tab for the solo in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a clip of me playing it, that explanation you've just seen there, and a backing track to play along with. All of that is up on my Patreon page. There's the address, link in the description. As I'm sure you know by now, $3 or £2.50 a month gets you access to all of these additional goodies that go along with these YouTube videos. A massive thank you to everyone who supports me in that or any of the other ways, all of which are, you know where, linked down below. And that is pretty much the video for today, folks. Hope you found it useful and informative, and as enlightening as I did when I discovered the other works of this fantastic band Survivor. And if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not drop me a like as well while you're at it. Don't forget the live stream every Friday, 5 PM UK time, where we drink beer. That's the main thing. And we talk about all manner of things, guitar, music related, all manner of stuff. Great way to kick off the weekend. I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.